The Reserve Bank of India made a significant move on April 9, 2025. It cut the repo rate by 25 basis points, bringing it down to 6%. This key interest rate influences borrowing costs across the Indian economy. This cut was not the first. The RBI had made a similar reduction in February 2025. The central bank also signaled a shift in its stance, moving to an accommodative position. This suggests the RBI is prepared to lower rates further or maintain their current level to stimulate growth. The RBI's decision comes at a time of global economic uncertainty. Trade tensions, particularly those initiated by the United States, have cast a shadow over the global economic outlook. These tensions pose a particular challenge to emerging markets like India, which are deeply integrated into global trade networks. The RBI's move to cut rates is a clear signal that it is prioritizing growth in this uncertain environment. The rationale behind the RBI's rate cut is straightforward. Lower interest rates make it cheaper for businesses to borrow money and invest. This in turn can lead to increased economic activity and job creation. Lower rates also make it more attractive for consumers to borrow money to buy homes, cars, and other goods and services. This increased consumer spending can further boost economic growth. The RBI is betting that by lowering borrowing costs, it can provide a much-needed boost to the Indian economy. However, the effectiveness of rate cuts in stimulating growth is not guaranteed. In a globalized world, domestic economic policies are often influenced by external factors. The ongoing trade war between the United States and China is a case in point. The tariffs imposed by both countries have disrupted global supply chains and increased uncertainty in the global trading system. This uncertainty can make businesses hesitant to invest, even when borrowing costs are low. The escalating trade war between the United States and China poses a significant challenge to India's economic outlook. The tariffs imposed by both countries have already had a negative impact on global trade, and there are concerns that the situation could worsen. India, as a major exporter of goods and services, is particularly vulnerable to disruptions in global trade. The tariffs could make Indian exports less competitive in the global market, potentially leading to a decline in exports and economic growth. Beyond the direct impact on trade, the trade war also creates a climate of uncertainty that can be detrimental to investment and economic growth. Businesses may postpone investment decisions due to concerns about the future direction of trade policy. This uncertainty can have a chilling effect on economic activity, making it more difficult for the RBI to achieve its growth objectives. The trade war has also led to volatility in global currency markets. The Indian rupee, like many other emerging market currencies, has depreciated against the US dollar. While a weaker rupee can make Indian exports more competitive, it also makes imports more expensive, potentially fueling inflation. The RBI must therefore carefully manage the rupee's exchange rate to balance these competing pressures. The potential for a full-blown currency war, where countries deliberately devalue their currencies to gain a competitive advantage, adds another layer of complexity to the RBI's task. Such a scenario could trigger capital flight from emerging markets like India, further destabilizing the currency market and complicating the RBI's efforts to manage inflation and support growth. The RBI will need to carefully navigate these choppy waters, using a combination of monetary policy tools and close coordination with the government to steer the Indian economy through these turbulent times.